While I'm on a roll, let me go ahead and get started on this too. People with innate fear of darkness. I've always been fascinated by the darkness. Ghost shows, demonologists, all that shit. I even mod for a YouTube channel. Shout out to Demon Army, Approving Demons. But I guess to some extent I might have been a little fearful of what I didn't understand. However, I guess as I got more educated or whatever, learned more about things, I realized that, the darkness doesn't mean bad necessarily. If there's going to be light and goodness, then there has to be darkness. Without darkness, there couldn't be light. Duality works in the 3D. In order to have one, you have to have other. So, are you opposed to darkness enough where you don't want there to be light? Are you opposed to love enough where you don't want everything to be hate? You can't have your cake and eat it too unless you want both of them. That's kind of how it works. You don't stick the damn seed out in the hot ass sun. If you're trying to grow it, it goes in the soil. The most I've ever learned in my life has been in the dark. Taught me the most there was about myself. Without the dark, I never would have saw my light. I would have sworn I was dark too. It took me a long time, and I still ain't 100 about everything. You don't ever stop learning. But I think people fear what they don't understand. And then also, all these love and light motherfuckers don't make it any better. If it was all just love and light, what the hell would we need all these spiritual coaches and gurus and all these guides and teach you all these meditations? If it was all just love and light, wouldn't we all just be love and light? Wouldn't we just ascend all on our own? Wouldn't be nothing. You purge your shadow, you're healing, and you'd be good to go. But that ain't quite how it works. Plus, have you ever noticed all the love and light folks, they don't ever talk shit about shadow work. Hardly ever. And if they do, it's after they've been on YouTube famous for about 3 or 4 years. What? Don't nobody want to hear about that shit because that ain't no fun. Don't nobody talk about it because it ain't no fun. But that's part of it. If you want to ascend, if you want to raise your vibration, you got to purge your shadow. Face what vexes you most. That's what kind of party it is. Why don't you never hear them talk about it? And then the few you do, it's all powder puff bullshit. What about facing every trauma you ever been through? And for some of us, that's some deep shit. Decades worth of work. I've been crash coursing a couple decades worth of work for less than 2 years. I've come further than any counselor ever took me. All on my own, with almost no support system left, besides my friends online. You don't hear them talking about that shit. Come on, let's big boy up. If we're gonna come to the table, pony up to the table. It just frustrates me because everybody, everybody want to talk about twin flames. Well, let me tell you about twin flames. Meet yours and see what they trigger in you. It ain't gonna be sunshines and rainbows unless your ass has dealt with every shadow you got. What's going to happen is every trigger you never knew you had, bam, in your face. Every time they come near you, you're going to rip your soul out and show it to you. And all the parts you hate the most about you is going to be what you got to deal with. That's how this shit really works. But you don't hear many of them talk about that. The only one you'll hear actually talk about that is like New World All-Star, Kurt. Who talks about the real spiritual journey. Because that's what twin flame is all about. It ain't shit about another person. But they ain't nobody trying to hear that.